Previously on YCL Season 7, our hero drafted a powerful team with a solid Fairy Dragon Steel core. However, with the lack of extra hazard support, the games were not that easy and our hero's luck was not the greatest. From the short 20-minute timer...
Wait, what?
...to getting 6-0'd.
Continuing onslaught of L's, so...
...to getting a 6-0.
I had to redeem myself after last week's game. So.
To close calls.
We live on 1 HP!
And mirror matches. Spartan's season was not the best, but far from the worst. In the end, he was able to get one hurrah before his season ended with a 4-win and 5-loss record. Now the hero Spartan is back again in a new season. Will our protagonist be able to draft a good team, or will he blunder it and we'll have to make a half-baked team work? Tune in right here, right now, on YCL Season 8!
Greetings everyone, Spartan here. Welcome to Season 8 of the YCL. I'm back and now with a new team for the moment, the Ontario Meloetta. Last season was not the greatest, but hopefully this season will be different unless my luck says otherwise. But now let's just get a quick rundown of the season. Including myself, there are 16 coaches competing this season with no divisions this time, with 100 points to use to draft between 10 to 12 Pokemon and are allowed to pick up to 3 of them to be Terra Captains. However, the caveat is Pokemon worth 10 points and below are allowed to terrestrialize. So I had to choose my captains wisely because changing them straight up in the season costs a transaction. Some mons are banned this time, including Fluttermane, Single Strike, Urshifu, Zamazenta, and Spectrier, to name a few. Complex bans including Bachelor Legion not allowed to have Last Respects, Shed Tail, and Revival Blessing being banned, and moves Direct Claw, Relic Song, and the ability Effect Spore activating Sleep are exempted from the Sleep Clause. Also, games are done with a new battle timer implemented a couple months back, with 60 minutes as the overall time and 20 minutes for chest time. Usual stuff like Dry Pass, Item Clause, and Evasion Clauses are still in effect. With all that explanations out of the way, let's get into my draft, and I just gotta say, man, my draft sucks! I was 16th in pick, and unless I'm doing something wrong, I fumbled the bag so much when it comes to me and wheel picks. I just wanted to use one specific Hisuian Pokemon, and this is the third time I get to try it out one more time, because the last 2 times were from National Dex Leagues. The problem was to make a team revolving around its sole purpose to be a wall breaker. And my first pick was Ursaluna. One of the best Gust users of all time and has a fantastic move pool and bulky defensive and offensive stats. It hits like a truck with moves like Facade, Double Edge, Earthquake, Headlong Rush, Close Combat, and many more powerful and versatile moves. So this time, I'm not going to drop it, and we'll use it this season. This is where, well, everything else falls apart. Here we go. For my second pick on the wheel, I grabbed Houndstone, because I wanted a strong offensive and defensive ghost type to pair with Ursaluna. Plus, it still gets to keep Last Respects, which I believe the move should have been outright banned. Just my opinion, but I just wanted it to work. Next up on my picks, I wanted speed, diversity, hazard setters, and momentum. So I grabbed Meowscarada and Mesprit as my third and fourth picks. Meowscarada, having great speed with U-turn allows me to get in and out when need be, have both spikes and toxic spikes in his arsenal, and has a powerful grass move in Flower Trick and a relatively good ability in Protean. Mesprit gives a slightly slower U-turn user with access to Stealth Rock, versatile supportive move pool, and a new move thanks to Legends Arceus, Mystical Power. Along with it being a good fighting resist, helps out Ursaluna in some games. Honestly, I hope Mesprit becomes the perfect partner Ursaluna needs. Now the next 2 picks were supposed to pair up with each other hand to hand, so to speak. The 5th and 6th picks are Dash Bun and Hisuian Gudra. I've used Dash Bun last season and even in other drafts, and it has never disappointed me as a defensive fairy. Wish support, disruption, and a great defensive ability in well-baked body makes Dash Bun a fairy type mon worth picking up. Hisuian Gudra is what Gudra should have been, in my opinion. It has a great dual typing in Dragon and Steel, and all of his stats outside of HP and speed are above 100, and great abilities and move pool. Its signature move Shelter was nerfed, but if it had the initial effects, it would definitely not be allowed. The next two picks were more for hazard removal purposes, and finding good ones are rather difficult in Generation 9. Having at least one decent one is better than having no hazard removal at all, especially in a league with item clause in effect. So the next two picks are Cryogonal and Hawlucha. I have never used Cryogonal before, and I hope it can pull its weight on the team. It has a solid Spadef bulk and good speed, allowing it to take some special attacks rather well, with it being immune to ground attacks thanks to its ability Levitate. Its move pool isn't the best, but not the worst, with having Freeze Dry and Rapid Spin in its arsenal. And I made Cryogonal as one of my Terra captains, so I have some good ideas of what typings I want it to become. Let's be honest here, I don't like Hawlucha. But after watching Pokegame's BBR run, in which he uses the mon both offensively and defensively, I'll have to give it a second chance. Not much to say about Lucha other than that it has Defog in its move pool, along with some tools like Sword Sets and Roost to keep it afloat. And its speed is pretty beneficial with the team as well, especially with the help of a nerf. Now that we're almost done with my draft, this is the part where I might have messed up my draft entirely. You see, at this time, no one drafted one of the 3 sand users, but not including the LC Mons that have the abilities, which is Tyranitar. And I didn't see anyone not needing the Mon, so I planned to draft it last and go from there. So the next 2 picks before getting Tyranitar were Spidops and Paldean Aquatoros. Spidops isn't that great, but it has very few things that keeps it afloat. From being one of the only 3 sticky web users to having Stakeout as its ability, in my head, Spidops was kinda worth it. I still prefer Ariados, but it's not in the game right now, so there's that. Aquatoros was one of the only few good water types left, and I was running out of points. Tauros gives me access to Intimidate and some good water moves like Wave Crash and Aqua Jet. I used Blaze Tauros last season, and it was okay, so maybe having a dual fighting type wouldn't be too bad, right? So here's where everything falls apart. Right before it was my turn, one of the coaches decided to take Tyranitar. So with Tyranitar gone, my initial plan of picking up and ending my draft went down the drain. Now I had to improvise on my last 2 picks. After my brooding phase of getting sniped and mullied over, I decided on getting 2 other Pokemon that would cover my last 2 Terra Captain roles, Hatterene and Swalot. Hatterene does something that Dashbun cannot: provide support while dishing out damage. Providing support with Magic Balance as her ability, getting supportive tools like Healing Wish and Nuzzle, and provide multiple coverage moves that give more leeway of using Hatterene more often than Dashbun. With a Terra option, Hatterene can gain strengths of what typing it needs in certain circumstances. Swalot might not be as good as Muck, let's be honest, but it does have the necessary bulk that a grounded poison type needs. It gets some surprising moves, but most of all, it does get Toxic Spikes, which gives it a good niche in some games. Swalot having a Terra Captain role gives it the access to typings that it needs for offense and defense tactics. And thus, my draft is done. And holy crap, my team looks like hot garbage doo-doo butter. But at least I have the Ursaluna, which is all I care about right now. Hopefully, by week 2, I can get trades and transactions going to make the team work. Even if people want me to use the Broken Houndstone with last respects, this is probably my only chance of using Ursaluna without me dropping it. Also, let me know in the comment section below on a theme of nicknames. I always like doing nickname themes for my Pokemon, and for this season I want to be a little bit different. Last season was Heroes from the Yu-Gi-Oh game, so I really enjoyed that. So if you have any other options, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be looking for them. But I'll try to cover week 1's nicknames for now. But that's it for me. Thank you everyone for watching. Look forward to week 1's game. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.